may not think that a visit by the U.S. Health Secretary is a big deal, but it is.
In today's Taiwan Insider, we're going to tell you why. I'm Natalie So.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. First, a look at the stories on our radar.
U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Alex Azar has visited Taiwan, becoming the highest-ranked U.S. cabinet member to do so since the U.S. and Taiwan broke off diplomatic ties in 1979. During his trip, Azar met with President Tsai Ing-wen and Foreign Minister Joseph Wu. He was also here for the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding to expand cooperation in the area of global health. President Tsai Ing-wen has condemned the arrest of Hong Kong democracy activists, including Jimmy Lai, the founder of Next Media and Apple Daily, which are often critical of Beijing. Lai is among those who have fallen afoul of a new national security bill governing Hong Kong. Tsai said that attempts to block the will of the Hong Kong people will not succeed. The Coast Guard has arrested a 45-year-old Chinese man for entering Taiwan illegally. The man says he swam from the coastal Chinese city of Xiamen to a Taiwan-administered island just off the coast of China. Due to fears about COVID-19, the man's case will only proceed after he has been held in quarantine for 2 weeks. After 10 years of planning and construction, a new Taipei landmark is finally ready to open its doors. The Taipei Music Center will open on September 5th with indoor and outdoor concerts, and it will host the annual Golden Melody Awards in October. Mazu is known as the goddess of the sea in Taiwan, but pilgrims here will carry her statue just about anywhere, even to the top of Yushan, Taiwan's highest peak. One Mazu statue from Taichung recently made its 5th ascent of Yushan, carried by worshippers, showing that their devotion reaches even the highest of heights.
And now for our words of the week. Andrew, guess my word.
Alexa.
Alexa.
All-purpose, all allies.
That's right. So we're talking about U.S.-Taiwan ties. We just saw a big visit from the U.S. Health Secretary, and it shows that U.S. ties are strong, and we are allies in many ways.
Excellent. You ready for my word? All right, here we go.
President. Precedent.
There we go. So the question is this visit by the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, we know it's a big visit. Is it going to set a precedent for more big visits from the U.S. in the future? We're going to be talking about that in our show today.
All right, let's put these on the shelf.
This week, Taiwan saw the highest-ranking U.S. official visit since 1979. The U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, came for a 4-day visit. Here's what he had to say about the trip.
The particular focus of both my discussions with President Tsai and of our trip is highlighting Taiwan's success on health in combating COVID-19 and cooperating with the United States to prevent, detect, and respond to health threats.
The U.S. and Taiwan also signed an MOU on health cooperation during Azar's visit.
Today, I am pleased that TECRO and AIT have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to formalize the more than 20 years of collaboration between my department and the Ministry of Health and Welfare on a wide range of issues.
Now, to learn more about Azar's visit, Natalie recently sat down with one of Taiwan's top health experts. It's former CDC Director Steve Guo, who is currently the president of National Yangmi University. Have a look.
What do you think the main purpose of Health Secretary Azar's visit is to Taiwan?
Right. Obviously, it's multiple purpose, right? It's not only for the health cooperation bilaterally, but I think it's both for the geopolitical purpose and probably for some domestic politics as well. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what you think is trying to achieve?
I think for the collaboration on the health side, if they can sit on and talk, then they really can kind of open up a door for the working levels to do more. So I think it's very important for the both countries on the pandemic control measures collaborations. But I think also is obviously, I think it's a strong signal from the Washingtons to show the world and also for its people that they want to have a very strong support for Taiwan, not only for health security, but in general security as well. So I think it's basically is very good for Taiwan. And I guess people will say it's also it's a way of President Trump, to show is different from all his predecessors, that he doesn't fear CCP of China, right? In the past, never before there's a president of United States dare to send a high-ranking officers like Secretary of Health to come to Taiwan to spend 4 days, not 1 day. You have to understand, for a busy health secretary to spend 4 days in Taiwan, it meant a lot. And so I think it must be a multiple purpose.
That's really interesting. I had no idea that a 4-day visit by a health secretary from the United States would be such a big deal.
I didn't know that either. He says he doesn't even travel that long to go to the World Health Assembly in Geneva.
Wow.
So it's a big deal. And I also asked him what he thinks the U.S. should learn most from Taiwan.
I will say one thing. During the SARS outbreak of 2003, we learned that the major infectious disease outbreak is need to be treated as a national security. So before that, actually, Taiwan political figures don't believe that. But after the SARS outbreak, everyone, they will understand that infectious disease is truly a national security. Let alone the pandemic like this. And so if you treat it as a national security, then you need to centralize the command and control. It's probably difficult in the United States. But remember, U.S. has been done this before. Right after 9/11, actually, because of the fear of anthrax attack, actually U.S. do a pretty good job, try to some degree centralize the command. So, the system won't be fragmented as we have seen recently.
Now that's really interesting. Nally, I'm curious to know, did he mention anything else he thinks that the U.S. can learn from Taiwan?
He did. He said Taiwan's national health care system was very effective in helping control the pandemic. Of course, it'd be very hard for the U.S. to emulate it, but they could have a national database to help them do things like ration masks like we did. So there's a lot that they can learn from Taiwan.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can implement some of those things, right?
Yeah.
Well, now we've already mentioned that Azar is the top-ranking U.S. official to visit Taiwan since 1979, and that got us thinking, what other top U.S. officials have visited in the last 41 years? That's the subject of today's Taiwan Explained. It's not every day that top-ranking U.S. officials visit Taiwan. In today's Taiwan Explained, we're going to tell you just how rare it is.
And to tell us all about it is Catherine Wei. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi.
So this visit by the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Alex Azar, was a big deal. Tell us why.
Azar's visit drew a lot of attention. That's because he's the highest-ranking U.S. cabinet official to visit Taiwan since the two countries cut formal ties in 1979.
And so by highest ranking, what you're saying is there's a line of succession to the presidency, right?
Yes, so if anything happens to the current president, Azar is 12th in line.
And I guess something would have to happen to the next 11 people as well, right?
The first 11 people.
Okay.
Okay, well, tell us what other top U.S. officials have visited Taiwan since 1979.
So there were 6 in total, if you count Azar, and 3 of them visited during President Lee Teng-hoi's term. U.S. Trade Representative Carla Anderson-Hills visited Taiwan in 1992. Secretary of Transportation Federico Peña visited 2 years later in 1994. Secretary of Energy Bill Richardson visited in 1998. Since then, all the other presidents have only received one top U.S. official during their time in office. Secretary of Transportation Rodney Slater visited when Chen Shui-bian was president in year 2000. EPA Chief Gina McCarthy visited during Ma Ying-jeou's term in 2014. And now, the most recent visitor is Secretary of Health Alex Azar. He probably won't be the last cabinet official to visit Taiwan. That's because of the Taiwan Travel Act, which U.S. President Donald Trump signed into law in 2018. This act encourages high-level visits by U.S. officials to Taiwan and vice versa.
So essentially, that's just 6 officials in the last 41 years.
That's
not
right.
that many.
But it will be interesting to see how things develop with the Taiwan Travel Act in place. Thanks again, Catherine. And that is our Taiwan Explained for the week.
This week on Hashtag Taiwan, I want to talk to you about airplanes. And no, I'm not talking about the 1980 comedy film starring Leslie Nielsen, classic as it may be.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So far, it's been a very interesting week for Taiwan. 2 high-profile delegations arrived in Taiwan on Sunday. One is that of U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar, and the other is former Japanese Prime Minister Yoshiro Mori. Many leaders above a certain level from other countries are hesitant to come to Taiwan. That's because they're afraid of angering China. The world is going through a pandemic right now, so many aspects of state visits have been either changed or streamlined. Taiwan has one major international airport. That's Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport, which is located about 50 kilometers outside of Taipei. Diplomatic delegations usually arrive at that airport, but because of the pandemic, the 2 delegations arrived here. Taipei Songshan International Airport. It's a smaller international airport and generally used for short-haul or domestic flights. But it's located smack dab in the middle of the city. Why is that important? Because people in the bustling city of Taipei were able to see the planes from the US and Japan as they landed. On Sunday morning, pictures of the incoming planes flooded social media. It was a rare sight because both delegations arrived on charter jets. Azar flew in on a custom US Air Force Boeing C-40B aircraft, which was painted like Air Force One, the plane the US president flies on. It was a very distinct entrance, one that paved the way for this picture, which makes a statement on the strengthening ties between Taiwan and the US. On the other hand, Yoshiro Mori came in on a charter jet run by Japanese company Universal Entertainment. Not that Universal. That company operates only one plane, so it was easy to differentiate from other planes. People captured pictures of both planes landing and described them as historic. Neither of the delegations had to undergo quarantine, but they both had to be tested extensively for COVID before coming to Taiwan. While many things have come to a standstill during this pandemic, it's good to know that diplomacy is still taking off and it's cleared for landing.
Today's Brain Game is a top 10, and Andrew and Kat have 90 seconds to guess as many things on this top 10 list. Now, this was curated from 2 travel websites, Lonely Planet and Hotels.com. We're going to be talking about Kaohsiung because we're going to elect a new mayor in a by-election on Saturday.
Wait, do you know anything about Kaohsiung?
No, not really.
So you guys are going to guess as many as you can. Tell me the top 10 destinations in Kaohsiung. Go.
Qijing.
Good. Very good.
Liyutan.
Nope. That's on the list.
It's not on the list.
Keep guessing. There's more things, places to go.
Maybe the harbor.
Which one?
Okay. What can you do at the harbor? There's something, places you can go.
Boer 特区.
That's right.
go.
The Pier,
Like the arts
Pier 2
community.
Art Center.
85大楼.
That's right. The 85 Sky Tower, the highest building in Kaohsiung.
You can go. We're terrible at this. Kaohsiung. Oh wait, Sosan Zoo.
That is one, but it's not on the list. Sorry.
I didn't know.
That's a nice
that.
destination.
Oh, this is hard, man.
They're night markets, I bet.
The World Game Stadium.
That is a good place to go. It's not on the list.
That's your thing. Was that what you were?
The Liao Night Market.
That's right. Liao
right?
Night Market.
Sorry,
Very
I stole
good.
that.
That's okay. I don't know a thing.
Can you give us a hint?
Kaohsiung City Government to see the new
Okay.
mayor.
Where do people like to go on a gondola?
Oh, there's a
Take a
gondola
gondola
there.
ride?
Malcolm, Taipei, right? Sun Moon Lake.
Or take a nice walk?
I heard.
That's right. Liao River.
Okay.
I forgot that one.
There's a beautiful work of glass, the biggest in the world.
Formosa Boulevard Station.
That's
it's the
right.
MRT station, right?
Very
Yes.
good.
That's it.
There's
I
a
think.
new
Yeah.
art center. Okay, well, Let's see. You guys have tied, so try for a tiebreaker.
A tiebreaker? Oh,
Name
man.
anything on this list. What's the name of the new art center there? Beautiful.
I have something else. But you
Well,
can
say
go
the
for
other
it.
thing.
Say.
The sunset at Zhongshan University.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good
actually.
one.
It's
Not on
the
the list, though.
Pop Music Center. Isn't there like a music center? Oh, no.
Oh, that's true. Wei Wing was on the list. Yeah. There's a lot of things to do in Kaohsiung. So, okay, Andrew won this round. There's also a Museum of Fine Arts that's very beautiful. An old British consulate has a great view.
The Takao.
And also the Lotus Lake, which has a tiger and dragon pagodas. So, lots of great things to do in Kaohsiung.
Okay.
And thanks for all the other
Lotus
ideas.
Lake, isn't that Liutan? No? Okay, anyway, I don't know.
Is it?
Anyway, I don't know.
Okay, if it is, I'll give you an extra point. I'll look it up. That is our brain game for the week.
Are you ready to take the Taiwan news quiz? This is our lightning round. That means we have 60 seconds on the clock. And in the hot seat today, we have Natalie So and Leslie Liao. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I guess so.
Are you ready at home? All right, you can take it right along with us. Go! On Monday, Taiwan welcomed the first representative from where?
The U.S.
Somaliland.
Somaliland.
Oh.
A blow to freedom of the press. That's how President Tsai described the arrest of who on
Jimmy
Monday?
Lai.
That's right. He is the media mogul from Hong Kong, the founder of Next Media and Apple Daily. Crowds of people headed up into the mountains north of Taipei late on Wednesday night. What were they hoping to see?
Perseid media shower.
That's right. What European mayor is set to visit Taipei at the end of August as part of a 90-person delegation?
Prague.
Yes,
90?
Prague. That is correct. Prague Mayor Zdeněk Hřib. He's going to be traveling with the president of the Czech Senate. The Taiwan International Balloon Festival is underway until August 30th. Now, it was delayed due to the pandemic, and they're requiring people to wear masks in the hot air balloons. But organizers are saying that the visitors could surpass how many people?
1 million?
Correct. Wow. Former Japanese Prime Minister Yoshiro Mori visited Taiwan last week. When he met with President Tsai Ing-wen, they were sitting in front of a painting of what?
Oh, was that Li Donghui?
No. It was a painting of papayas.
Oh, who guessed that one?
We have a bonus question. This is a heartwarming question that we have here. Beachgoers in southern Taiwan found some lost baby marine creatures. What were they?
Baby sea turtles, 24 of them.
That's right. Baby sea turtles. Now I have to explain, it is breeding season for the turtles. What happens is the turtles crawl up on shore, they find a spot, they dig a hole, and then they bury the eggs, and then 2 months later they hatch. Now, these poor babies, they had a hard time finding their way back to the ocean. So we're going to end with this video.
Over the weekend, beachgoers in Kending found baby sea turtles on Dawan Beach in southern Taiwan. The turtles were confused by lights coming from nearby hotels, so they couldn't find their way to the ocean. They could have died of exhaustion if they didn't make it to the sea. Beach resort employees quickly contacted park officials, and they found 24 green baby sea turtles. The little creatures were inspected for injuries and weighed before they were brought to the ocean. The hotels dimmed their lights, and the baby sea turtles were safely led onto the beach and into the sea.
So this week we were talking about a big visit. My question for you both is, who is the next top official that you would like to see come to Taiwan? Leslie.
Well, Andrew, they say there's a lot of success in women leaders fighting against COVID, and I think one of the really cool things is we have a women leader in Taiwan. I'd really like to see New Zealand Prime Minister Ardern come and have a face-to-face meeting with Tsai.
Awesome. That's a great one.
I was thinking of a woman leader too, the most powerful woman in America, Nancy Pelosi. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, that's amazing. We were all thinking of female leaders. I'm hoping the next big leader to come to Taiwan will be Queen Elizabeth.
That'd be cool.
She brings her dogs.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Taiwan Insider. Be sure to leave us a comment below.
Yes, we would love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I am Natalie So.
I'm Leslie Liao.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. See you next week.